Good day, podcast community. PeteKane here, Podcast Pete, and certified high performance coach. And you better buckle up because we got a guest that you want to take notes and you want to be aware of a journey of his. So I know Saba through his wife, through friends have been telling me about him. So I had to get him on the show. So Saba, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve, and then we'll get into our podcast.
Definitely. First of all, thank you for having me here. I'm Sava Rilak, running a moving company, very successful moving company in Atlanta, Georgia, but we do serve the whole country. So no matter where you're at, we can help you, and we do travel with you.
Ooh, I love it. You know, I think of the moving business as so service oriented. I mean, you have to pull out the red carpet. So tell our viewers, like, when you're deciding to start this business, it's a tough business. We talked offline about my experience. It wasn't a positive one. Why did you start a moving business?
Really quick, going back, when I came to US, just moving in general was my second job, just to earn extra money. And
Mhm.
that's when I realized how big is the industry and I should stay in. And after like 8, 9 years being in industry, I felt like I have enough experience and knowledge that I want to do it my own way, change a
Mm.
little bit what I learned and build community around me. That's how everything started.
Wow. I love that. Now, let's go back to you come here. There's, they say the land of opportunity, but you got to make it happen. So share with our viewers, like, what was that like? I mean, the first 6 months to a year, how are you getting acclimated? How are you figuring things out?
That's interesting question, and I'll try to answer to best my abilities. So I came from Serbia when I was 19. I was doing sports. I was just looking for summer vacation time to go earn some money and kind of try something new. So I came to US, was working on the pool as a lifeguard, and moving was my second job. So I didn't speak any English. So I feel like I started very behind everything that I supposed to be. So first 6 months to a year was just building that language barrier, like overcoming that language barrier and getting to know people because I always wanted to connect with people around me and
Mhm.
get to know more local community.
Ooh, I love it. So, I failed English in high school, so my number one language, I can't say that I've mastered it, but learning a second language in a country that you're trying to figure it all out, how did you go about learning the language? What worked for you and what helped you in that transition?
Definitely, I had that in me that I just wanted to stay around people and just not being afraid. So learning on daily basis, word by word, one thing at a time. You can't learn everything quickly and overnight. So I was okay with that. And yeah, after a while, I had to go back to school and then kind of master it if you want to step up in life and just do things better. So you have to come, you do have to step up with that as well.
Ooh, love that. So your second job, you're moving around, you're learning the moving business. What did you see like the biggest problem that you said, "Oh man, if I could do it this way, I would do this."
And that's where I learned that I actually am good at this is that connection with clients. So I
Mhm.
really enjoy that reward on the end of the job that clients are super happy, thankful that we were responsive throughout the whole process, and especially when it's over the state lines moves, when the whole process lasts for a couple of days and your stuff is somewhere on the road, you don't even know who's taking care of it, where it's at, and that's what felt rewarding in that moment and felt very natural to me, just staying close to the client, provide them feedback, keep them updated, and that's what actually kept me around. I just enjoyed it.
Hmm. I love it. We were talking before we went on. I have a friend, and it's the same friend I was telling you that has a storage unit, and he's had it
Yeah,
for a number of years. So when he was transitioning from a bigger home to a smaller home, there was a like a window that you had to move out, move in, and it was the most stressful time because of this. I remember him telling me he almost got in a fist fight with the mover because they they were not listening. They were throwing his things around. They said they were going to show up at a certain time. They didn't. It's Friday night. He has to be out by Saturday morning. He doesn't have any options, and his blood pressure went to the max. And he's not like a big guy, so a fist fight was probably not his thing, but he was in a jam. And
yeah.
I hear so much of that is, so how do you solve problems? Because as a business owner, you're always solving problems. What do you go through? Like nothing's perfect, but how do you go through that process of solving problems as a business owner?
The biggest change that I even implemented on my own, that was hiring good quality people and not underpaying them. All jobs that come to us are served by our employees. So that's very important that I know who is at your home. I know
Mm,
what type of service that guy is going to offer. So I know every each person that we hired. And that's what I like to share with people, that we are small enough that we're gonna be hand to hand with you throughout the whole process, but we are big enough that we can handle any type of move. No matter where you go, our team from here is going to travel with you and complete the service. So we are not going to send you a stranger in your house who's going to cause the all these situations that you're just mentioning. So that's pretty much avoided by having our own employees who are trained, checked previously before we send them in your home. Because if I can trust them, how can you trust them?
mhm. Do you feel like, as a business owner, you're building a team, you're building a culture? What has been the biggest challenge of building that team and putting the right people on as they say, the bus? How do you go about evaluating talent and really working them into your business?
And lately, it's been even more challenging. Younger generations that just don't have work ethic. So it takes us longer to train, go through training process, because what they have to do, I can't just hire somebody and send them out to your home to provide a service. Obviously, they have to go through intense training, and trust me, 75% people give up in the training process and not even show up for the job.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. I mean, that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer is show up and you've done half of it. It's like just show up on time,
yeah,
and and it's like basic things. And we always say common sense is not common practice. All
yeah.
right, so we look to the future, like the next couple years. What do you see as far as growing the business, and how can our community support and help you with the growth? Because we need people like you out
Yeah.
there servicing and doing it right. So what can we do to support you?
So, and that's why I do recommend every friend that I know, family members, please start planning on time. Give us a call. Let us educate you and prepare you for what's coming. Most of families end up in rush about moving because they know closing the house, buying a new property is stressful. There is a lot going on, and don't wait last week to book your move. You are just not prepared, and there is a lot going on. As much experience you have, even if you move 20 times in lifetime, trust me, every move is different. You want to know more, you want to educate yourself, and give us a chance to share more details with you so you can prepare for that properly.
Yeah, that's so good. So, we talk about personal growth. There's the four human drivers: aliveness, connection, meaningful purpose, and personal growth. how do you grow to what do you use? Books, tapes? Uh, how do you grow personally?
Personally, like, mostly because I don't have much time to read books, I listen to books.
Hmm.
I do spend lots of time driving around, and all my time is just focused on either listening books or podcasts.
Ooh, good. Man, this is so good. I spoke at the Tommy Nobis Center, and it's a wonderful center, and there are special needs students. And so I was speaking to them, and I said, well, how many here listen to podcasts? And it was like every hand went up. And it's like people do get their information from podcasts. And so it doesn't matter, young, old, everybody, even my senior citizens listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
So tell me about, like, this is kind of a little bit on the personal side, but I have two full-time people in the Philippines. I think they're the nicest people I've ever met on this planet.
Yeah.
And I know I met your wife at a BNI meeting. I didn't, like, when we're talking, I'm just thinking, man, this is a nice person. And then I found out she was from the Philippines. So tell us, like, how did you, what was your sales line? I mean, how did you connect with your wonderful person? If you don't mind sharing, like, did you spot her and invite her out to lunch? And how did that happen?
So that actually happened in Chicago. I lived in Chicago for a few years,
Hmm.
and funny story that we just connected over social media. We
Hmm.
were just like having some similar interests at the time, and we started working out together
Hmm.
because primarily my time was focusing on business, building myself, and that was kind of only free time I had. So I was like, why don't I spend it with somebody I like
Hmm.
and somebody I enjoy being around? So we literally were friends for, I would say, 3 or 4 months, just spending time together. And exactly to your point, I learned about their culture because she's from Philippines. The whole family is in Chicago now, and just getting to know them and culture, it just felt like a connection, just like I felt like home.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had my team over 3.5 years. And so, I mean, I tell Trexa, she's like my adopted daughter, it's
Yeah,
like, there's a, and my partner is the one way back 4 or 5 years ago that he had done work in the Philippines over the
yeah.
years. And we were looking at different countries to really build teams. And he said, there's nothing like the Philippines. They're like so far ahead of anybody, and they just are wonderful people. So
And if I can add really quick, I do have to share this. What I
yeah,
learned
please.
about the nation in general, very educated, but also like they push you for that reason. They do push you and challenge you on daily basis because I do have some people from Philippines on my team as well, and
Hmm.
I know how they know to challenge you, but at the same time, it's pleasant to be around, which
Yeah.
is really interesting for me and like makes me to be better and stand up and just keep
Mhm.
going every day. And that's also in personal life with my wife and also with employees who are working with me.
Ooh, yeah. My team's they're getting married in February. So I was like, okay, I'm going to come. And then it was like a lot of hours. I mean, like a lot of
Yeah.
hours. So, and I haven't had a stroke, don't travel it's not
Mhm.
as easy for me to travel
Yeah.
more than an hour. But I'm going to go out there this year sometime to see them and just kind of, because you get to know people over
Yeah.
3 4 years, and it's like, wow. But you think they're halfway around the world, but you feel so connected and close to them because of just their hearts. You're right. Their work ethic is second to none, and they are so focused on the service part, which in the moving business, and you got to be, I mean, service is number one. I mean, because there's a lot of companies out there.
Yeah.
Most of them that I talk to, they're horror stories about how the moving experience went. So let's go back a little bit to, I love that you have a community connector. somebody that's out there, because I'm a firm believer in backfilling and always training. And, as a business owner, we're always kind of sometimes doing everything.
Yeah.
When did you learn to be a good delegator and empower people in your journey as a business owner with your moving company?
As every moving company, probably first thing, the owner handles everything. Then you hire your teams who are performing the service for you. Then the next step for me was hiring who next to me and help me working together on daily basis. That's
Hmm.
when I realized that I have a very good person next to me and I needed to step up and learn. Because sometimes it's not about you learning more to be better, it's more how you help this person to learn more from you so they can be better. And that's when my focus shifted. And I dedicated a whole year just passing that everything I know and I learn on daily basis to my team, no matter if it's service side of it or office. I just try to be scheduling myself to give them time that they can learn from me, and also that in that case you share the culture and you build the company culture around you, which helped us so much to grow in a period of 1 year.
Ooh, yeah, that's so good. What do you think? Like, I want you to like think about your 19-year-old self. You're over, and now you've learned so much about business. You've grown a business. What advice would you give to a 19-year-old Sava just starting out that you didn't know but you'd like to share with him?
Don't think too much, just do it.
Mm,
That's always whenever I end up in situation, even these days, overthinking something, you kind of waste your time thinking but not doing anything.
mm,
So you gotta do things. You can't just sit down and think twice, think so many times. Yeah, there are things that you have to be careful about. I'm not saying that you should take fast decisions, but we are known and humans usually spend so much time overthinking.
that's so good. I want to share with our viewers because that point is one of Jeff Bezos' major points about he said shared on one of his shareholders meetings that whenever they made decisions, they probably only had 60% of the information. And sometimes we try to wait till we get 100%, and we sit there and we do paralysis of analysis. We don't make decisions. But 60%, and he's grown that Amazon to a pretty large. So it is so important. I love to say progress versus perfection.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're trying to perfect, we got to have all the information. And by the time we have all the information, the things changed. So what would you say, like, as I'm curious when it comes to like your everyday, so can you take us through like your morning routine? Do you have something that you do to kind of prepare yourself for the day?
In these days and lately, it's been early workout, something that activates my body
Mm-hmm.
because and what that's what's been helping me when I start my day right. I show up in front of our teams. I feel that first 1 to 2 hours in the morning are crucial for the day because I
Mm-hmm.
give them all good energy, and I know when they come to your home, they're coming with good attitude, they're coming nice, they're coming to provide that hospitality. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how we stay with our clients. And I do feel that first couple hours of my day are set for the whole day, and they're kind of that's just the reference how the whole day is going to go with.
That's so good. So how do you like separate like balance? I don't believe in balance. I believe in flow.
Yeah.
You got to get in a flow because there's sometimes you got to work your butt off, and it's going to be a lot of hours. But we have to sustain momentum. How do you do it? Like working out early, getting that energy up, Are there some other things that you look to do to kind of get that flow, get that momentum, get that, rhythm of the business down that you might be able to share with our community?
Another thing that really gives me energy back is I'm not afraid of calling our clients back and hear from them. Very often, it's very simple call and a little concern that I can resolve with them shows me that everything I've been doing is giving me results. And
Hmm.
that's very rewarding when you hear from your own client. You're not afraid, first of all, to call. And second of all, yeah, even if there is a concern, let's resolve it. And after that phone call, even if it's 5 or 55 minutes, you're gonna feel very good. It's gonna go give you power for the rest of the day.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm glad you shared that because every afternoon I get up at 3:30 and I have a call with my team at 5. So, at about 3:30 in the afternoon, I've been up for 12 plus hours. I get my energy back by calling people.
Yeah,
I go on the I'll do a little bit of editing just to keep creative,
yeah,
but calling people gives me incredible energy. And I think today we've separated with texting, with emails, and we don't have conversations because we have feelings, and when you talk to people like you're describing, you're basically connecting at a deeper level.
yeah,
And I love that because the four human drivers of liveness, connection, meaningful purpose, and growth. And
yeah.
that connection, if we can emphasize what you just shared, is powerful for our human drivers that we make those phone calls because a lot of times you run into a call and it's like somebody's having a bad day and they just chew your ear off. But if you don't know that, they're telling other people, and that story is not the kind of story you like to get in your business. What would you say, like, you're working hard, you're building a business. What do you look for in your team? Because, we're empowering them, we want them to grow. What characteristics are you looking for in building your team?
When it starts with even with hiring process, the first and foremost is asking them on personal level where they at in life. And that usually starts with family, history, where they lived, how the life went around them. That can tell you a lot about their background. And then we come to the relationship that is built throughout that time with either with friends, family, or people around us. Because most of people transfer from another industry, so over they want to start something new. So we need to learn on deeper level who the person is, who am I putting trust in. And I would say that probably on the end it comes to service and training, because later that training we can offer very good training that you can learn everything. But
Mhm.
let's go back and see who you are on deeper level as a person, family man. Show us those qualities so we can work together and just build something together. Because you can't have a weak link in your team. The team has to be very strong to push you out, and also that they can push each other on daily basis.
That's so good. We talked before we went on the air. I was in BNI before COVID, and people would say, "Well, what do you think about it?" I said, the relationships, the friendships. I knew I could pick up the phone and call 50 people.
Yeah,
They would be there because you have that relationship with them, and it's like building. It's almost like a built-in team of resources. Do
yeah.
you find that's the case in your BNI and in how you show up and how it benefits, that the growth of a business?
Exactly. That's exactly. And what I like to see in every different group that I have around me, I need that group to challenge me. If the group doesn't or person doesn't challenge me in any way, it just feels like we are both wasting time there. So that's why even with BNI has something special that challenges you also it's a commitment. So you have to be there every week and shows your quality. And that same transfers to my team. I want my team to be able to challenge me on daily basis with some
Mm,
different things, you know. And what I like to say always to everybody to share, you're just an average of five people that you spend most time with.
mm,
So you got to
yeah,
be careful who you surround yourself with.
yeah. No, there's so much truth to that, and if people are either pulling you up, pouring into you, and making you a better person, or if the person is toxic, we call them emotional vampires.
Yeah.
They're they're just sucking the air out of the room. So what do you how do you stay organized? Because I mean, you're running a big company, you're working out, you're got a family, and so how do you kind of what organizational tip could you share with our viewers?
Where I started, and I still do that same thing, is I do sit down and look for patterns. I would say that 80% of our days, times, everything that we do is kind of repetitive. And those are all patterns in our life that we just need to kind of be aware of. And it's easy to schedule yourself and make sure that you show up on right time. And you have a whole year to plan your time, even if, yeah, you can take your time off, go for vacation, but also there are times when you know every year I need to be present here, no matter what my team needs me here. And that's been very successful for me. It makes it much easier for you. You're aware, you don't set some different expectations, and it's very easy, and that flow keeps you on daily routine, but actually it's much bigger goal than just daily routine.
Hmm. Like that is I love that what you just shared. And this has been a couple years, but I remember a person, they would go on vacation and it was like, oh man, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that everything stays together. And it's like, and I think to that is, if we always want to test whether our training's in place, our systems, just things are working. And when we go on vacation, it's a great test to see how the business is going to run when we're gone. Do you often like think of it that way? Like, I'm going to get away, I'm going to see how my team responds, and I'm just going to let them do their thing. And then when I come back, I'll see where there might be a hole or two that I need to further do some training. Do you approach it like that?
I do like that approach, and that's exactly how I do. But you have to be aware who is on your team and how much you can let them go without you.
Hmm.
Meaning that depends really how much you are involved in certain areas of business, because it's not really responsible for me if I'm handling one part of business completely and then just disappear and expect that somebody's going to take over. That's not
Hmm.
going to happen. But it's very important to also give your team, and what I'm learning throughout the time with my team, it gives them creativity. I learn from them every time you give somebody freedom to do things, they come up with very great ideas. And
Mm.
that's how we start improving, because at this stage I'm not building it on my own anymore. Yeah, partially it's my idea, but most ideas now, because there is more people around me than myself, they just keep bringing new ideas to me, and then it just feels like, as long as we build that trust from beginning, it's very easy to just understand each other and kind of use that creativity to grow.
That's so good. I want to be respectful of your time. So I'm going to put up on the screen for our audio listeners or for our people that are in the car. Tell our viewers how they could get a hold of you to be, and I want to encourage our viewers to share this, but just tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, best way, give us a call. My direct phone number is 678-203-5121. I'm always available to help and would love to hear your story. Share what you're planning on with relocation, any upcoming move, you or your family. I'm down to share all information that I learned in 11 years in this industry. I'm very
Mhm.
open to share everything and find best solution for your relocation. It doesn't have to be moving service. I know that I have so many sources around that I can help with. Just reach out, share the idea. I'm pretty sure I'll have a solution for that.
That's so good. So, as we wind down, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to take home from our time on this podcast?
I'll go back to what I'm going by, and that's first of all, whatever ideas you have in life to succeed and wanting to try new things, don't overthink it. Go and try it, go do it. And second of all, is don't be afraid of competition. They're
Mm,
just another humans around handling same business. Doesn't mean that there is no enough business for you. Just
mhm.
go try it, do on your own way, find your own clients, find your own community base, and keep growing from there.
Wow, that is so good. I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I'm a big, I like courses. This has been like a master class for our community to really dig in because there's so many value, wisdom, I call them bombs that were
Yeah.
dropped in this that is so important to the success of a business. So, Saba, thank you so much for taking the time and being with our community on this
Thank you
podcast.
for having me. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.